Okay, and then now with Jonathan, very dominant submission, but going into the fight and stuff, it was a very quick fight. But could you break it down for me because it was like you were dominating from about 5 seconds into the fight.
Yeah, I knew that he liked the rear teeps. I knew he was going to use his jab and his range, um, and look for like knees, uppercuts, and whatnot. But right before the fight, I kind of got the vibe that he was going to come out very aggressive. I think he was going to come out. Even one of my coaches, Marquez, John Marquez, it's like, Pat, he's coming in hot. So as soon as the fight started, I angled off. I went to southpaw. I just threw a left kick as he threw a right kick, and he kind of like scooped my leg a little bit. I kind of got my leg out. I threw like a just a short spinning back fist, and he came forward. I think to throw an uppercut, and as he came forward, I just went head outside single, cut the corner, and then I was kind of on the back and progressed from there.
Yeah, it was a clean takedown. Was that something you were kind of like practicing going into it?
Absolutely, man. There's a couple ways I like to get in and finish these takedowns, and that's definitely one of them for sure. We were practicing that a lot.
Okay. And then it looked like the biggest battle before you got the submission was that body triangle. He kept trying to fight it. You eventually got it. And pretty much after you got the body triangle, you got the rear naked choke. I kind of noticed that you were, this is why I want to ask you because I don't know for
Yeah.
sure. But it looks like when you were on top of him, you were getting him to like go belly down in a way to like get, so then, because like 2 or 3 times he kept going like belly down and then building back up to his knees. Do you think he was like going for broke there, trying to get up, or was that something you were forcing him into?
I noticed he would get his back taken in certain fights, and he would use it to his advantage in the sense that he would buck the person forward, which I think he did to Brito. Um, or he would just start build. He would build a base very well. I was very impressed with his ability to get up to his feet and fight the hands. And most people will get tired doing that, but I do it so often that I was kind of programmed and kind of conditioned for that kind of battle. But I knew that I wanted to get to that back and hopefully get that body triangle and just proceed from there.
Okay, so it's more so you were kind of expecting him. That's how he kind of gets out of these back takes, is he gets on his knees and starts to build up. And you
Yeah,
were
he
kind of anticipating that.
100%. I noticed like he wouldn't really play guard much or look for certain looks off his back. He wanted to build a base, get back up, and either impose his will on the wrestling or get back to his striking.
Okay. And the way you got that in, it just seemed to like slip right in. It might have been a mental lapse on his end, or I don't know what it was. But how'd you get that in there? Was that something you were doing as well? Like, did you lift up his chin to get it in, or what happened
So,
there?
so it's all about head position. Me and one of my teammates, James Lyons, we've been working a lot of, we'll get to the back, getting the proper head position. But I've also been practicing just getting that bite, whether it be here, and even if the chin's down, even if a finger's in there, I'm just gonna squeeze and twist till the fight's over.
Okay. Was it? Did you just like squeeze under, like in his? It just popped under his chin or something? Because it was under his chin so quickly once his back was on the cage, or your back was on the cage.
Yeah, he was hand fighting very well. But once I got that one arm around and had my head position and got this, I try to cover the wrist with my chin and just squeeze and twist. As soon as I felt it go on there, I was like, "Oh, it's in. We got to finish this."
Yeah. Okay. And I got two questions just off of this one, but
Sure.
I don't want to forget this one. Joe Anderson, right? Brito.
Yeah.
What did you think about that fight? It's because that was a weird one, right? He was like talking some shit in there, and then all of a sudden he lost. Like going into this one, what did you make of that performance?
So, man, that was a very crazy fight. I actually thought Pierce was winning that fight, in my opinion. The first round was pretty hectic. Brito's very aggressive, but I thought Pierce did a good job of counteracting that a bit. And second round came out, Pierce took him down, was controlling him, and then I did hear the shit talk. I was like, oh man. And then he got up and got him in that ninja choke. But I thought it was a very competitive fight.
It was almost until he talked shit, and then I feel like something got in his head, like something happened, which is understandable, right? Because he talks shit, and now you're like, fuck, nothing bad can happen to me, or else I'm gonna like eat my words in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's why I don't talk shit, man. Things could
Yeah,
change very quickly.
right. Especially in the middle of the fight, right? Because it just happens like seconds prior, and then boom, you get hit, and it just like messes with your mental.
100%, man. Got to keep that focus for that full 15 minutes, and then once that's done, it's
You're
done.
good. Yeah. Is that something you practice, like being focused for 15 minutes, just because we're speaking about the mental and stuff? And that's another thing, right? You have to stay focused for the full 15.
100%. Another thing too is like I feel like in the past when I would have a fight coming up, I would think about it all the time, so much. This one, uh, I I didn't think of it. I barely thought about this fight whatsoever. I went to the gym, clocked in, clocked out, left it there. Did not bring it home with me, because I need that. I knew I needed to wear the proper hat. What I mean by that is when I go to the gym, I'm wearing my MMA hat. When I'm back here, I'm wearing my human hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I got you. So it's like, because how you said earlier, when you were going into the cage, you're feeling exhausted kind of from all the mental. So it's like this one, that's probably a way to combat like going into the cage, exhausting yourself already with all those months of like thinking about it. You just like let that go. You'll deal with it when it comes, and every moment you're present where when you're at the gym, when you get home, and then when the fight comes.
absolutely, man, it makes the whole experience so much more fun too. Like, man, like even sparring and getting the strength and conditioning in, like I legitimately enjoyed every, even the weight cut. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it, and I think that's all about just being present.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. And the rear naked choke, just because of how you're demonstrating it a little bit. I watched like a Nicky Rod video of how he kind of gets it, and he kind of said that he like sucks back his chest or shoulders or something because it creates like a gap, like with the your opponent. Do you do something like that as well or no?
No, I actually
Okay,
never heard about that, but man, I'd like to learn that.
yeah, kind of a slick move, right?
Yeah, you something you
Yeah,
wouldn't think about.
right. So yeah, that's what he does. He like sucks back his shoulders, and then it just creates like a little bit more of a gap for him to kind of like maneuver and stuff like that. You got to look at his Instagram,
Wow.
scroll through, and you'll find it. I'm sure.
I'm definitely gonna check that out for
Okay,
sure.
for sure.